Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well. Welcome to the Citizen channel as we look back at an FA Cup game, don't we? FA Cup fourth round at the Jonny-Rocks Stadium. We're going to look back at Cheltenham Town 1, fortunately, Manchester City 3. So there you go. Interesting game. Yeah, we're not going to dwell too much on it later on, but yeah, it was interesting for the neutral, wasn't it? Certainly for 80 minutes, and certainly certain commentators were sort of getting all giddy and excited. So we're going to have a look back at it today, a quick match analysis and stats on the game, of course, with the Manchester Evening News, Mr. Bukowski's player ratings and my own player ratings. We do differ a little bit at times. Yeah, I think he's been a bit mean there yesterday, but we'll have a bit more on that after. Obviously, the quirky stats and any conclusions about City and Cheltenham we can make from that. Well, probably not too many, but there you go. And a couple of the headlines from the papers this morning, but they're not very original with the headlines. I mean, that's how it is. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications, and all these City vlogs are coming out. I do City history, City present, quizzes, lots of different things, as you know. So if you check the playlist, that'd be fantastic. I'm about 620-ish subscribers at the moment. I'm going for 700 before February, so if you can push that subscribe button or get some of your City mates to join in, that'd be fantastic. And you will see some stuff on my film and TV channel as well. I do stuff on movies and dramas, reviews, information blogs, etc. So if that's of any interest to you or anyone you know might be interested in that, please point them in my direction. That'd be wonderful. And as I say, but if it's just football that interests you, there's tons of football stuff. And please check the links for Facebook and Twitter as well. So if you want any followers or friends on there, just give me a shout, just hook me up and I will reciprocate in a couple of days. I do check every 2 and 3 days and follow and friend everyone back. Right, so let's get on with the game, shall we? The starting lineup, yeah, well, we probably knew problems were coming, didn't we? 10 changes to the Aston Villa game. I mean, no, if we make more than three or four changes, we always struggle. I don't care who the opposition is. It could be a non-league team. I don't care who the opposition is. We always, that flow, and especially in the circumstances at the moment with the COVID problems and all this sort of thing, it even adds to it, doesn't it? Adds to the mix. If you make 10 changes, you're probably bringing players in who haven't been playing very much, and that's what we did yesterday. And we saw the result, and I think we knew that. I think that's. But at the end of the day, what else could he perhaps do? It's a busy schedule, isn't it? So it could have been a lot less busy if it hadn't worked out yesterday. But yeah, I mean, Pep has to make these decisions, but it is. Yeah, 10 changes is a lot, and I just knew when I saw that we may struggle a little bit. Anyway, the 11, Stefan Garcia, Harwood, Bellis, Laporte, Mendy, Fernandinho, captain, Doyle, Mahrez, Torres, Foden and Jesus. Nice to see Tommy Doyle in there, and at least one experienced centre-back. I was hoping it'd be Stones or Diaz alongside Garcia, to be honest with you, because we did mention the long throws in the preview, didn't we? But there you go. Laporte had to do, didn't he? Subs Ederson, Diaz, Sterling, Gundogan, Zinchenko, Rodrigo, Bernardo, Cancelo and Bernabé. Yeah, I got 8 right, so that wasn't too bad, was it? I didn't do too bad there. I mean, obviously I had Stefan Cancelo starting. I did have Garcia and Howard Bellis. I did have Mendy, but I had Zinchenko in there as well, which obviously didn't come about, did it? And I also had Delap. I thought Delap might get a game, but there you go. I don't think he's banned, is he? I know he got sent off for the under-23s, but I don't think it affects the FA Cup. So he could have been on the bench, which is, I don't know. I think he's upset Pep. I think there must be something about Delap he doesn't like. Perhaps it is his temperament. I'm not too sure, but I'm fairly sure there's something wrong there. Pre-match, yeah, it was just about Garcia, really. People aren't happy with that. At the end of the day, we don't have a lot of options, do we? But as I totally agree. I mean, I did have this out the other couple of weeks ago with a guy who's saying, well, we've got no other central defenders, but I'd just say, well, I'll get my boots and play, but I'd rather give an under-18 player centre-back a chance than Garcia. But anyway, he didn't do too much wrong yesterday, did he? But yeah, I can understand the anger of Garcia playing, but that's Pep's decision at the end of the day. He's the manager. He makes the decisions. He's paid the big bucks to make those decisions, isn't he? The match officials, of course, they're quite strong on the match officials, weren't they? Stuart Atwell, obviously no VAR, so obviously we're hoping for a good referee and linesman, which I think we got last night. I think they're pretty much spot on for most of it. Stuart Atwell, his assistants were Konstantin Hatzadakis and Ian Hoosin, and the fourth official was Andy Madley, or Mayley, how you pronounce that. Right, the match, first 45 minutes, yeah, which could have been 1-0 up, couldn't we? Jesus tried to lift it over the 6'7" keeper. And I forgot his name now. I don't want to repeat his name because he's got a GCSE in wasting time, hadn't he? I mean, if he was wasting time from the very first minute, every time he caught the ball, he was falling on the ground. So yeah, I wasn't overly impressed. I mean, we can't win, can we? At the end of the day, what do you expect from this? But I mean, from the first minute, I mean, we've seen certain goalkeepers come to the Etihad and do that, haven't we? Even Premier teams. But yeah, he did annoy me a little bit. The young keeper. He's about 19, isn't he? He was all right. It wasn't too bad, was he, apart from his wasting time? Yeah, so he tried to lift it over him, but obviously he couldn't quite do it. An early half chance for Cheltenham, didn't it? He virtually went up the other end and had a half chance for them. But we sort of settled down, and Doyle was whipping some great little crosses in, wasn't he, from free kicks and from open play. And he whipped in that one on 12 minutes, and the Mendy blast, wasn't it? Fantastic. And that guy, Tozer, I mean, are we going to sign him on? I mean, we used to sign players on, didn't we? That game. What a game he had, that Tozer guy, at the captain. Is he the captain? And the long throw artist, obviously. But how he just got his head in the way. Fantastic. 12 minutes, but Mendy was very unlucky there. He should have perhaps had a goal. He was very unlucky. Tozer did the right thing. You could see on replay he actually deliberately moved himself back to sort of cover that far post. So well done for him. 18 minutes. Mendy, Foden, and Torres bring out a good save. Obviously Torres from the keeper as well. And another good chance on 23 minutes. Yeah, Cheltenham was still in it. Stefan, obviously, I think he took no chances. I think he was going wide, but I think it was May's shot, and he put it wide for a corner. 32 minutes, Foden was wide from a good Mendy pass. Yeah, he perhaps could have done a little bit better with that one. 41 minutes, of course, we had the break for fireworks. I mean, that's just become the norm now. That's just fair enough. I mean, that's just annoying, isn't it? But it's annoying for a Premier team. But again, from a lower league team, I mean, you've got to take the funny side of that and know that there's a lot of games being played at this sort of level. You know, why not? Why not? They're playing the big boys, aren't they? So I'm not going to disparage them for that. Half time. Yeah, 0-0. All credit to Cheltenham Town. Fantastic. There's the match City most of that half. I can't say City particularly deserves to be in the lead. And then when it's obviously the 10 changes, as I said, we had no real flow to our team, did we? It was very, very worrying. If we'd scored that early goal, I think we might have been better, but there's no guarantee of that, to be honest with you. And I did write at half-time, basically, we've got to improve, or there may be a shock. Well, there was a shock, but fortunately it wasn't. We got over it, didn't we? Yeah, second half, 53 minutes, Jesus was slipped through, but never looked like going to score, did he? As he hit the outside of the post, but as soon as it left his foot, you could see it wasn't going in. He just didn't have any real bend on it, and that was so a bit of a half-hearted. He did everything right, apart from score, unfortunately. Yes, and then on 59 minutes, of course, a long throw specialist. We hadn't suffered too many. I think they'd only had 2 or 3. But yeah, and obviously we're a bit slow at the back to respond. Laporte was poor. I mean, whinging about getting fouled. He ended up getting booked for dissent, didn't he? But man up, mate, man up. And you know, it's that we needed it. As I said before the game, we needed an experienced centre half with this long throw thing to sort of get his head on these things. And Laporte was a bit disappointing there, to be honest with you. And of course, that young May, who had a good head of hair, I just looked at his hair every time. It looked as though he had Cossack hairspray on it. Have you ever heard of Cossack hairspray in the old days? I mean, he had a nice head of hair, Mr. May, didn't he? But he was quicker than everyone else, even the goalkeeper, Stefan, who got a bit of the blame for it. But yeah, they were just sharper, weren't they? And these fully deserved the goal. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, as I say, Laporte got booked. 67 minutes, Diaz on. Taylor Howard bellies off. It wasn't exactly a siege of the Cheltenham goal, was it? 70 minutes, Mahrez should have done better, shouldn't he? Fantastic through ball from Foden. He was onside, Mahrez, and he just hits the keeper with his right foot. I mean, couldn't he just have moved it over to his left? I know the pitch was probably sort of digging, sort of rutting up at that stage, wasn't it? He should have done better with that, really, Mahrez. Fantastic Foden ball. 77 minutes, well, this is where Pep earned his money. This is where he earned the big bucks, didn't he? I mean, I was thinking, obviously, I'm not going to get excited with what's coming. I mean, they're on about Sterling coming. I thought, well, he's not going to win the game for us the way he's playing. And then, obviously, he brings Cancelo on. I think, well, he's an early man. He sort of does everything, and not almost, but not quite. So there you go. So what do I know? I'm not a manager, am I? So Cancelo came on for Mendy. Of course, 81 minutes. Cancelo, of course, sets up. He does it. He's not an early man anymore. He is the man. Fantastic. This is what I wanted. This, you know what I call him, the early man. I'm not being mean and saying he's rubbish. I'm just saying he always seems to do that little bit where he just shoots wide, or he plays a pass through that just doesn't quite reach a forward or another player. So that's what I mean by it. And obviously to see him actually set up Foden, and Foden, fantastic. I mean, what a superb. He's our best striker. I mean, Foden is our best striker at the moment. There's absolutely no doubt about it. He's the only guy, really, that's natural. All right, you can have Torres, who does okay, but I think Foden's our only natural goal scorer that we've got playing in the squad at the moment. And took it really well from it. I say it was a great ball from Cancelo. It was just onside again. Fantastic. 84 minutes. I think it was only going to be one way then, wasn't it? I mean, I think Cheltenham's heads went down, obviously. And at last, a goal from Jesus again, which was onside. I mean, they did intimate that it was offside on telly, that VAR might have chalked it off, but I think we're fairly sure it was onside. A great Fernandinho through ball as well for Jesus. And that's what we want to see from Jesus. That sort of took that goal really well. That's what we want to see with his first effort, perhaps. So that was 2-1. And then, yeah, the final nail, the final cruel twist, obviously. Cancelo again finds Gundogan down the line. I think I never saw it looked a bit offside-ish to me, Gundogan, but I think he was okay. And he pulled it back, of course, for the Torres tapping. 3-1 to City. So there you go, we got through, didn't we? Well done, Cheltenham Town. I think... they were all right. I think there's a couple of sort of hefty fouls, hefty tackles, but I mean, you've got to expect that. I mean, they did try and play some good football, as I say, for a lot of the time. They certainly worried City. It wasn't just the long throws; it was just the general play was very, very good. And as I said, I think the difference was probably Cancelo, to be honest with you. Cancelo coming on was the actual difference in the teams. The referee, excellent. I thought Stuart Atwell was excellent. I mean, I don't know what's going on recently, but he didn't, all right, he may give just a little bit of leeway to Cheltenham at the start, but I think throughout the game, I think he was pretty fair. The linesmen, the linos are very good. So I'm going to give Mr. Atwell 7 out of 10. That probably covers his officials as well. I think they deserve a 7 out of 10. The match stats, 6 shots for Cheltenham, 2 on target, and shots 20 for City, 9 on target. So that's not too bad, is it? Possession, 27% for Cheltenham, 73 for City. Passes, 229 from Cheltenham, 601 for City. Completion, just 58% from Cheltenham. That's probably sort of more in line with what league they're in, really. And we're just 86%. That is quite low from City as well. It's usually the high 80s, but 86 is quite a low completion rate. Fouls, 12 by Cheltenham, 5 by City. And corners, 5 each. So, yeah, we didn't have to suffer too many corners, but it wasn't easy, was it, to watch? Right, the player ratings, Simon Bukowski's comments first, and then the score, and then I'll give you my little comment as well. My starting score for this one, I'm only going to start it at 6. That's my base. I don't think we were anything particularly special yesterday to warrant a higher rating. So I'm going to start a basic bog standard 6. So if you get less than that, they didn't quite hit the mark on the day. If they get more than that, then they obviously did. Right, Stefan, confident, excellent in organising the players in front of him, as he usually is, but we were disappointed with the goal conceded. Yeah, Simon's giving 5. Yeah, I mean, I've given him less than the standard. I'll give him 5.5. I say it was okay, but a little bit slow for that, reacting to the goal, perhaps. But I mean, I'm not going to blame him totally, but again, didn't really get much. Yeah, I think 5.5 is a bit. I should have given him a 6, I think, but no, I'll stick with 5.5. Always stick with your first thought, because I say it was a little bit lazy with the goal. He sort of went down to collect it, a bit quicker, a bit more reflexes we needed, didn't we? Howard Bellis, a decent enough showing on a rare start in a position that isn't his best. He wasn't too involved in City's attacks, with the team going through Mendy on the left a lot more. So you give Howard Bellis a 6. Yeah, I give him the basic 6. Nothing wrong with his performance yesterday, particularly. Garcia, his presence in the starting lineup will have mystified many, given his inevitable departure to Barcelona. Either in this month or at the end of the season, but he did little wrong. No, he didn't. I was looking to see what he did right and wrong. Again, he didn't do that much wrong. So Simon's given him a 6. I'll give him a 6. Laporte's quality on the ball is often looked to whenever the team looked to build. However, he was beaten in the air for the Cheltenham opener, and the fact Diaz had to be brought on was not a marker of confidence. I don't think it was a great game. Simon's giving 5. Again, I'm going to get like Stefan. I'm going to give him 5.5, just under the standard. I thought he was pretty poor for that corner, and then to whinge about being fouled is a bit pushing it a bit. Mendy, unfortunate not to score with the howitzer in the first half and was involved in plenty of good attacking play in the first half. Faded badly in the second. He's only given 5. I thought it was okay in the second. I think a lot of the play didn't go down that side, so I've given him a 6, Mendy. I thought he was okay. I think Simon's been a little bit cruel to him there. Werner, maybe he's mortal after all. After weeks of being compared favourable to Rodri, I don't know what Simon's been on last night. He's not a very happy bunny, is he? He was unable to instigate enough control in midfield, so I was giving Werner a 5. Again, I've just given him a standard 6. I thought he was okay. He wasn't fantastic, but the team wasn't. So I'm only giving the standard 6, but 5 from Simon. Doyle, some encouraging flashes of the absent De Bruyne in young Doyle's play. Okay. With some dangerous crosses, into the box, and a tigerish work ethic covering every blade of grass, which you'd expect. He's given him a 6. I've given him a 6.5. I thought it was excellent. I say some great little balls. All right, didn't always work out, but KDBs don't, do they? So I give him a 6.5. Simon just give him a 6, even though he praised him. A bit mean. Foden, probably City's best player. He was. Not that he had much competition. Took on the Bernardo role of shuttling the ball through the midfield, and should feel his chances he created deserve better. Let's give him a 7. I'm going to give him my highest mark of the day, Foden, so you know what's coming later, don't you? I'll give him a 7.5. I thought it was excellent. Topped off with that goal. Superb. Mahrez, often isolated on the right flank. He missed an excellent chance to level the game up in the second half, but shot straight at the keeper. So give Mahrez a 5. I'm not going to go less than 5.5, but I'll give Mahrez a 5.5. It wasn't, did okay-ish. I mean, everyone's slagging him. There's a lot of criticism on social media, but I'll give him a 5.5, which is less than average, but not fantastic against pretty naff opposition, let's be honest. No disrespect, but comparative to what we play week in, week out. Torres won a lot of free kicks with his quick feet on his first start after his COVID absence. You've got to take that into account. Although the team couldn't really afford him to play his way back into form, he nicked a goal late on, he did. So he's given him a 6. I'll give him a 6, because I'm not going to give him, obviously he scored a goal, but as I say, he was a bit quiet. I mean, perhaps he could have done a little bit more. So I'll give him the standard 6. Jesus, the chance that was saved in the opening seconds was unfortunate. The free header missed in the first half was disappointing. The one-on-one wasted 0-0 was unacceptable. He scored the winner, but he should have made the game safe before Cheltenham scored. He's given him a 4. Simon's given Jesus a 4. I give him a 6 because I'm allowing for the fact, I just don't think he's right yet. I just don't think he's right after the COVID. And he did score, all right, and it was the second goal. It was quite a crucial goal at the time. We needed that second, didn't we, to sort of put a top out on it. And it wasn't great, but I think I'm just going to make allowances for the fact of his coming back into the team and what's happened. So I'll give him a 6, which is the standard, nothing more than that. But Simon, I'll give him a 4. Diaz for Harwood Bellis on 67 minutes, a surprise outing, and brought his familiar poise to the defence against the long throw. I was much happier when he came on. So I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a standard 6. Gundogan for Doyle, 67 minutes. Brought some control to the midfield that was needed. So he's given him a 6. I'll give 6. But I mean, it was easier for Gundogan. Then they were really tiring. So he could use some of his presence and his skill, couldn't he? We've not marked Cancelo for Mendy because he wasn't on long enough. And of course, my Citizen man of the match. There you go. You probably know that from my scores. He's obviously Phil Foden. Let me know who yours was. Let me know your scores as well, what you think, or do you agree with me or disagree? As I say, we sometimes see, it's easy, isn't it? Sometimes we see different things, don't we? I'm watching a lot of games on the telly now. I know when I go to games, it's quite hard to make these judgments because you only see it from a certain place. But on the telly, again, you only see certain things as well, certain areas. So let me know what you think anyway. Phil Foden is a man of the match. Quirky stats up to Joe. Alfie May's goal was the first Manchester City conceded in 509 minutes of action since Callum Hudson-Odoi's strike for Chelsea. at the start of the month. Phil Foden is Manchester City's top scorer with 9 goals this season. He's netted more goals in 25 appearances this season than he did in 38 games last term. There were exactly 180 seconds between Phil Foden equalising and Gabriel Jesus giving Manchester City the lead against Cheltenham. Oh, well, there you go. That is a quirky stat, isn't it? 180, so it's like a darts thing. 180. Stat City tonight's appearance is Phil Foden's 50th start for City in all competitions and his 99th overall. So obviously that's something including substitutions, etc. Phil Foden's 24th goal for Manchester City in all competitions, taking him into the top 100 in the club's goal scorers chart. Fantastic. I mean, he'll soon get in the top 50 and who knows where. Gabriel Jesus has now scored 8 goals in his last 13 FA Cup appearances for Man City. Yeah, keep him playing them. Gabby Jesus now scores 73 goals for City in all competitions, overtaking the amount Edin Dzeko scored for the club, 72. Well done, mate. Yeah, so a couple of the headlines. The Sport, Daily Sport, Daily Star. Obviously, a little one on the back there is Jesus saves. I mean, obviously that's not very original, is it? Then you go into the inside. What are they saying on the inside? If we can find the inside now. Can't even see where it is now. Phil hits the town. Classy outsider is pipped at the post by a Foden finish. So obviously the Cheltenham and the racing. Foden launches late rescue mission after Alfie puts Pep Stars on the brink of a huge upset. So at least we got some images. I think the next paper I'm going to show you, we don't really, it's all about Cheltenham, which is fair enough. I mean, you know how it is, isn't it? The underdogs, why not? Yeah, so Rockstar taking on Jose. That's obviously to do. I have no idea what that's about. Moment Robbins had City rocking. Yeah, so the little image of the goal, and obviously, yeah, good on them. Of course they're going to celebrate. I mean, what do we expect? And inside, 9 minutes from history. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. May strikes, so nearly makes it a Cheltenham festival before City remember their lines. Yeah, some good puns there. Goal line hero Tozer turns goal creator. Duff full of pride before dreams ended by Foden. The new Gaza. There you go, the new Gaza. Phil Foden. Fantastic. I think his temperament's a little bit better than Gazza's, to be honest with you. I think he'll do all right. And our own, of course, Manchester Evening News, late show, City fight back spares FA Cup embarrassments, obviously in the sport there. Few Moon, that's quite a good head. I quite like that. Few Moon. City survive FA Cup scare thanks to late strikes. Blues nearly throw it all away after tough day at the races. There you go. Fantastic. Image of Phil as well. Brilliant. And inside, anything to do with the Cheltenham game? Let's have a quick look. We're talking about Robinho. There you go. Mistake, but Robinho deal did pay off for Blues in the end. There you go. So that's obviously fancy a bit of Robinho. Get today's evening news. And of course, interesting. City must up strike rate to land the crown. So obviously a bit of a look at the league side as well. Yeah, as I said, I think Foden is our most prolific scorer, obviously, and he's the only guy who looks as though he's going to score at the moment on a regular basis for us if he plays. So there you go. Our little conclusion. Yeah, so 10 minutes away from what another City horrible, my horrible histories. I do City horrible histories. This could have been a horrible history for the future, couldn't it? So we were just 10 minutes away from that. So fortunately we pulled it out of the bag. He earned his money, Pep, didn't he? As I say, who'd have thought Cancelo coming on and perhaps Gundogan to some extent would change the game in our favour like that, because I had lost hope, to be honest with you. I did comment on Twitter that unless we've got Messi to come off the bench, I'm not overly excited, but there you go. Well done, Pep. That's why you get paid the big money. But yeah, I'm not going to speak too much about that game, unfortunately. Swansea away, of course, in the next one. So no doubt we'll play a better 11 against the current second-place Championship team. So that's not going to be easy. It wasn't easy last time. Remember that I think we got 2 offside goals against Swansea last time, didn't we? You remember rightly in the FA Cup. And of course, Cheltenham. A word for Cheltenham Town. Yeah, I mean, as I say, 2 or 3, 4 perhaps late-ish tackles, but I mean, it's only to be expected, isn't it? And I'm sure they didn't leave any beer in the changing room. Although the way we played, perhaps they did have a few snifters before we went out on the pitch. I'm not too sure. And they generally tried to play football. Yeah, I mean, they are what they are, aren't they? Toes a big unit, isn't he? And he got that big throw, and he did tire, I think, towards the end. But and just watching him get the towels and why, I mean, I don't know how much time was wasted doing that, to be honest with you. So obviously it all worked out okay in the end, isn't it? But say the goalie annoyed me wasting time as well. But it's only to be expected, isn't it? And what more can we expect? I mean, no matter, for a small club, we're a big scalp, aren't we? Let's be honest about it. For a so-called small club, everyone wants to beat us and everyone wants to see us get beat. Who doesn't support Manchester City? It's as simple as that now. But yeah, they can be proud of their efforts, I think, Cheltenham. I think they're up in the top 5 or 6, so obviously they're going to push now to get, push promotion. I mean, they have been promoted a couple of times over the last 20 years, but they've ended up back in League 2 a couple of times as well. So, yeah, it'd be nice to see them get the promotion, of course, get the money as well for all this sort of virtual tickets and all that sort of thing. And I did order a couple of programs, and apparently a lot of people have ordered a couple of programs, and obviously the system didn't allow for postage. So at the moment, there's quite a lot of people they're going to have got programs sat in the gift shop at Cheltenham waiting to be picked up, because obviously there's something wrong with their system where they want. So obviously I have asked, because I've ordered a couple. Well, how can I pay you for something else and just send them just to cover you? But at the moment, I got a message saying they'll touch base with me about it. All right, mate. So they took me £10 for 2 programs, but obviously, yeah, I don't mind paying for postage, but obviously it sort of got missed on the system. But hey, there you go. But apparently from the email I got, a lot of people in the same, but a lot of people have done the same. There was nothing, couldn't see where the postage was. So then again, so whose fault? I don't know if it's my fault or their fault, but obviously there's a lot of people done it. It's obviously probably not my fault, is it? Probably just is something not there in the system. But there you go. Anyway, all credit to them. And good luck to them. I'll keep an eye out now. I think we'll all keep an eye out from how they do, won't we, in the rest of the season. That'd be fantastic. As I said, I'm not going to talk too much about how we move forward. As I say, when you make 10 changes to a team and some of those players are still coming back from COVID and fitness, etc., it didn't surprise me one iota that game last night. I'm just so happy we didn't get totally embarrassed and managed to pull through. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Of course, I'll be back with a preview of the West Bromwich Albion game. So as I'm recording this, that's obviously we're playing on Tuesday the 26th. So I better do my preview on Monday, haven't I? So keep your eyes open for that. Push that notification button. Please check out my recent City vlog, City Pass vlog on Joe Hayes, the striker from the 50s and 60s. That's there. And obviously that was the week that was as well, which is out there for the Palace and Villa game. So please check that out. Thanks for joining me today for the big match analysis. Cheltenham Town 1, Manchester City 3. All's well that ends well. That's all we can say. Whatever you do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Till we meet again here on the Citizen channel, or perhaps you flit across to my film and TV channel. Whatever it is, all I ever ask is please stay safe, Blues. Thanks for watching. Come on, City. Bye for now.